Hi, my name is Taylor. I am one half of this channel, cinNOMADics. The other half of San isn't really into this kind of thing, theories and all that. So I'm here with my movie minion, Trixie Poppington, to substitute him. So we're talking about my favorite summer cult movie, Hocus Pocus. In my experience, I found all of the best fan theories that I like to build off of on Reddit. So let's get started. Controversial fan theory number 1 comes from Reddit user Hughesarge. I don't know. It has 2 upvotes and it goes in as quotes. Hear me out. Hocus Pocus. Max had to light the black flame candle because Allison wasn't a virgin. Wouldn't even have been a movie. End quote. That is the full theory. Yeah, that one's just straight not true. There's other user Daddy J711 points out, no, Allison was a virgin. You can tell how she acts nonchalant and bashful when she asks for the salt, and how she says, it's 5 o'clock, my parents are going to kill me. Yeah, I think a lot of things in the movie are made to make her look as innocent as possible. Alright, so for fan theory number 2, it is also about Allison, and it is that Allison is a witch. I don't know how I feel about it. It's interesting as a concept for sure. So we don't see Allison use magic. She's obviously not evil. Or she could go into the graveyard. She doesn't get the broomstick to fly, the one that she handled. But there are some things that are like direct parallels. Like her family runs the Sanderson Museum. She is, quote, really into witches. She knew and felt when something wasn't right. So this user says, even when getting to leave the Dennison house, she stopped as though she could sense the presence of the Sanderson sisters. Max wasn't fazed, even though the trio was sneaking into the house to take Danny. It always seemed like Allison had a bit more intuition than the other characters did. And I think that's true. I think movies put things into the writing as subtle subtext to hint to make you watch again later. And as you get older, or as you watch the content more and more, you start to see things that you've never seen before. And I totally feel this way about Allison. Like I said, I don't know if I'm 100% convinced, but it's way more convincing to me than the first theory. Right, so the last theory is something that I found on goodhousekeeping.com when I was looking at their list of things that you don't realize as a kid or whatever. So it's actually number 9 on this list. I'll have the list linked in the description below, and it's titled Billy Doesn't Die Instantly. So it says, quote, Brinks' actual death scene at the end of the movie is one of the saddest moments of the film. But once the Sanderson sisters are officially defeated, Brinks must let his cat form go and become a ghost again, since he is freed from the spell the witches cast on him at the start of the movie. This applies to everything that the sisters cast a spell on, including Billy the zombie. Even though he gets his opportunity to fall back into the grave, as Romper points out, as amazing of a character as he was, and as satisfying as it was to see him fall back for a peaceful sleep in his grave rather than just collapse into a pile of bones, why Billy didn't do just that is a little confusing. And now that I've actually had to think about this, I think it's true. So he had to live through all of the pain as they reversed the spell, and I feel like that's a little bit insensitive. Alright, ladies and gents, that is a wrap and all that. Thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to come back next week when I do Mandalorian fan theories, and we have other videos coming out many times a week on this channel. So be sure to subscribe, thumbs this video up, and share with all your friends. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.